you're using AI wrong. And the wild part is, you don't even realize it. People think artificial intelligence is revolutionizing their workflow. But the truth is, most users are actually moving backwards. Every day, millions of people type prompts into ChatGPT expecting magic. And what they get instead is the verbal equivalent of lukewarm, instant noodles. Generic, bland, robotic. And here's the uncomfortable twist. The problem isn't the tech, it's you. The way you've been taught to use AI is fundamentally flawed, and it's draining hours from your week without you noticing. You treating AI like a search engine when it is actually a collaboration partner that needs clarity, context, and refinement to deliver anything worth using. And this is exactly where you're using AI wrong becomes more than a keyword. It becomes the diagnosis. Most beginners make the same critical mistake. They walk up to ChatGPT and type something painfully vague, like "tell me about marketing" or "help with my project." And then they wonder why the output feels useless. Vague prompts guarantee vague answers. That's not a theory. That's the iron law of prompt engineering. Without specifics, the AI is forced to guess thousands of missing variables at random. You're basically rolling dice and praying for coherence. Specificity is the difference between garbage and gold. If instead of marketing tips you say, "Explain 3 digital marketing strategies for small businesses selling handmade jewelry on Instagram with a budget under $500, suddenly the AI has guardrails. It knows your audience, your platform, your constraints, and your goal. But here's where things get really interesting. Even people who master specificity still sabotage their results with one massive oversight. They forget to assign a role. If you don't tell the AI what perspective to take, it defaults to the most painfully generic viewpoint possible, trying to please everyone, impressing no one. But the moment you say you are a social media strategist with 10 years of experience, the entire response transforms. Now the system isn't guessing your expertise level. It's operating from it. This one shift can double your output quality overnight, and yet 95% of users don't do it. Role assignment is one of the most underrated prompt engineering skills on the planet. But even with specific prompts and strong role assignment, you're still not done. AI isn't a vending machine, it's a conversation. The biggest myth in this entire space is the belief that you are supposed to get perfect results on the first try. That's not how this works. Real productivity comes from iteration. You get a response, you refine it. You ask follow-ups, you request revisions. You push for clarity, and then you get brilliance. Most people accept mediocre first drafts and then declare AI overrated. In reality, they just didn't bother to steer the interaction. Think of it like working with a brilliant intern who has infinite information but zero intuition. You wouldn't give them a vague task and expect excellence. You'd guide them, refine them, correct them. Without that, you're not using AI, you're gambling with extra steps. Now, here's the plot twist that blindsided researchers. People assume automation equals more productivity. But studies show that automating a broken workflow doesn't fix it. It multiplies the chaos. Bad systems become faster, bad systems. If your process is inefficient, cluttered, or built on low-quality data, AI doesn't save you. It accelerates the mess. This is where everything flips. The real power of AI isn't automation. It's augmentation. The pros who extract insane value from AI aren't trying to replace themselves. They're using AI to eliminate low-value work so they can focus on strategic, creative, high-leverage thinking that machines can't replicate. The myth says AI replaces you. Reality says AI amplifies you if you know how to collaborate with it. But collaboration requires something almost everyone skips: human oversight. Large language models can sound confident and still be dead wrong. They hallucinate facts, reproduce bias, and lack emotional intelligence. If you publish AI-generated content without checking it, editing it, or adding your own voice, you're setting yourself up for cringe inaccuracies. And content that screams, "I let a robot write this." Professionals treat every AI output as a first draft. They edit, sharpen, personalize, fact-check, restructure, and that's why their results look polished instead of robotic. Here's the final truth bomb. AI doesn't understand what you want. It predicts what you might want. That tiny difference changes everything. If you don't provide context, your audience, tone, format, goal, the AI has no choice but to guess. And guessing is where quality dies. Write a blog post produces fluff. Write an 800-word blog post for freelance graphic designers struggling with pricing. In a conversational tone, using 3 real-world examples produces impact. Context isn't optional. It's the multiplier that turns AI from generic to surgical. The second prompt will always outperform the first by an order of magnitude because you've eliminated ambiguity. But even with perfect prompts, there's another layer most people miss entirely: integration. AI tools don't exist in a vacuum. They're supposed to connect with your existing systems, your data sources, and your team workflows. Integration breaks are one of the most common reasons AI implementations fail in professional settings. If your AI chatbot isn't connected to your customer database, it can't provide personalized answers. If your predictive analytics tool is unsynced with clean, updated data, it will produce garbage insights. And if your automation platform doesn't integrate smoothly with your project management software, you've just created more work, not less. The myth is that AI is plug and play. The truth is that AI is only as good as the infrastructure you build around it. Real AI productivity requires thoughtful setup, data pre-processing, and ongoing monitoring to catch errors before they cascade. Here is where it gets even more interesting. The people who think they re-AI power users are often making the subtlest, most damaging mistake of all. They're using AI without clear objectives. They adopt tools because they're trendy. They automate tasks because they can. And they generate content because it's easy. But they never stop to ask whether any of it actually moves the needle on their goals. Using artificial intelligence effectively isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things faster. If you're not measuring whether AI is saving you time, improving output quality, or reducing cognitive load, then you're just playing with shiny new toys and calling it productivity. The professionals who extract real value from AI start with the problem, not the tool. They identify bottlenecks, they audit workflows, and they select AI solutions that solve specific high-impact challenges. This approach prevents the trap of automating for automation's sake and ensures that every AI integration delivers measurable return on investment. But this is the part that almost no one talks about. AI needs training, and so do you. The myth is that AI tools work out of the box for everyone. The truth is that industry-specific applications require customization, fine-tuning, and domain knowledge. A generic large language model doesn't understand your company's terminology, your customer pain points, or your competitive landscape until you teach it. Similarly, you can't expect your team to use AI effectively without proper training, onboarding, and ongoing support. The gap between AI's potential and AI's actual performance in most organizations is almost entirely a training problem on both sides of the equation. When you combine specific prompts, assigned roles, iterative refinement, rich context, human oversight, clean data, strategic integration, clear objectives, and proper training, you unlock the exponential productivity gains that AI promises. Without those elements, you just using the most powerful technology of the century as an expensive magic 8-ball. The real myth isn't that AI is overhyped. It's that most people never learn to use it correctly. They skim a tutorial, they copy-paste a few prompts, and they assume that's enough. But mastering AI workflow optimization is a skill that requires practice, experimentation, and a willingness to treat AI as a collaborator, not a replacement. The future belongs to people who can communicate effectively with machines, and communication starts with understanding how these systems actually work. They don't read your mind, They do understand nuance unless you build it into your prompt, and they do improve unless you give them feedback. Every conversation with AI is a test of your ability to translate human intent into machine-readable instructions. And the better you get at that translation, the more value you'll extract. The professionals who dominate their fields in the next decade won't be the ones who resist AI. They'll be the ones who learn to wield it with precision, clarity, and strategic purpose. So if you've been using AI wrong, you're not alone, but now you know exactly how to fix it. What myths should I break down next?